We'll call this meeting to order. That's pretty good. Today is January 23rd. This is our regular meeting. We do have a quorum, as all commissioners are in attendance. And we had a couple of commissioners that were out Thursday for training, which is mandatory. I think it's a good thing. Welcome back. Hope the training went well. The invocation today will be led by Commissioner Herring. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Commissioner Adams. So if you all stand. Let's pray.
Father God, I just thank you for this time, God, we have together to conduct business, Lord, here for Houston County. And Lord, I just pray that we will do it the professional way and do it the right way. God, be righteous in what we do. And Lord, I just ask the ones that are sick and in need, Lord, and there's many out there, Lord. God, I just pray you'll just be with our employees in general, God. Just continue to bless them and keep them safe, Lord, and be with our community. I praise you and thank you for all you do. In Jesus' name I do pray. Amen.
Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, gentlemen. We each received a copy of the minutes, so that there are not any corrections in the motion to section by Commissioner Herring. Motion by Commissioner Harvey. Second by Commissioner Herring. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Carries. All right, announcements and comments from the chairman and commissioners. I just have one announcement. February is Heart Health Awareness Month, and so at Southeast Health, they'll be having Heart Health Awareness Month kickoff the Wednesday, February the 1st, 1:30 p.m. at the Southeast Health Heart and Vascular Center. So we personally have a lot of family members that have heart conditions, as do some other people that sit on the commission. So if you're available, it's certainly a good cause, and I'd love for you to meet me out there. Any other announcements from the commission? Sure. All right, awards and presentations. We have a presentation by Tyler Reeder, Assistant County Engineer. He's going to do the FY 2022 road and bridge completed work and projects. So, Tyler.
Yeah, I think so. Get that thing made. Okay, as Chairman Shoup said, I'm gonna go over road and bridge accomplishments for 2021 and 2022 fiscal year, as well as some upcoming projects this fiscal year that we're currently working on and scheduled to start working on. This will be kind of a reminder of last meeting as we did a presentation on our rebuild program. This past fiscal year, we completed two projects, County Road 75 and County Road 8 for 22, a little over 22 miles of resurface. We completed over 44 miles of shoulder work and replaced 28 cross drains. This is a map showing you those two locations in the county. County Road 75, the total cost was $779,448, and that is Rebuild Alabama funds. The county also contributed $267,000 in in-kind work before and after paving, replacing cross drains, doing shoulder work, and applying the permanent striping. as we stated, that none of that cost is, we use rebuild funds for that. The county incorporates that into our annual budget. County Road 8 total rebuild funds was $1,955,465. We replaced 11 cross drains, did 32 miles of shoulder work, 16 miles of permanent striping, and the county cost for that was $441,237. This shows what the estimated cost was versus the actual completed cost. We did have an increase in asphalt prices during these projects, so we did go above our estimated costs. But however, for the whole Rebuild Alabama Bond Commission did over 3 years, we still came in, I think, right around $400,000 on that estimated number. And then it shows the total county cost as well for those two projects. MPO projects that we completed this year: Hodgesville Road, we resurfaced from Roxbuck Circle just south of Saunders Road, right at 2 miles. We leveled, resurfaced, and did the striping. Costs, MPO funds, a little over 600,000. Just a reminder, that's usually 80-20 split. Federal funds 80%, county funds 20%, and then also the county replaced 2 cross drains, did right at 4 miles of shoulder work, and striped the roads for a total cost of $145,000. First Avenue in Ashford was from 84 to Old 84. Was from Highway 84 to Old 84, and that was 0.44 miles. The contracted cost for that was $92,000, and the county cost was $34,000. Walding Drive in Quincy, we resurfaced 1.77 miles. We leveled, resurfaced, and did the temporary striping for a total MPO cost of $524,000. And county replaced 5 cross drains, did 3.54 miles of shoulder work, and 1.77 miles of permanent striping for $207,000. We did Shook Road, which is just outside the Quincy city limits, for 1.3 miles. And total MPO cost on that road was $352,225. The county replaced 3 cross drains, did 2.6 miles of shoulder work, and 1.3 miles of striping for $216,000. Jordan Avenue, 1.16 miles, contract cost $322,000, and county replaced 2 cross drains, did the shoulder work, permanent striping for close to $100,000. Total in MPO projects this year, MPO funds was right at 1.9 million. And then you add the county funds in with that, the county through the MPO contributed $2.6 million in projects. Permanent striping, this is done on project specific and then also just maintenance in the county. For the new commissioners, we share a stripe truck with Dale and Coffee County. So we do their striping as well. In Houston County, we completed almost 216 miles, and that's striping miles, not roadway miles. So if you got double solid, that doubles your miles. But for right at $150,000, and that includes your permanent striping, markings, rate pavement markers, for a cost of $692 a mile. If we contracted this out, it would cost the county $2,500 to $3,500 a mile for a contractor to do that. We striped 170 miles in Coffee County and 54 miles in Dale County. This is just showing 2 different items that we do: permanent striping, the cost, and then also the shoulder work cost of county doing it versus a contractor. And one thing on the shoulder work is also the county tries to reshape ditches and fix any minor drainage corrections when we do our own shoulder work. Whereas if we hired a contractor to do that work, it would just be to pull the shoulders up to the new edge of pavement. So we're getting it for a cheaper price and able to do more more work in the right of way. So. Additional work. We did the Sam Houston Boulevard through the industrial access grant. We overlaid 2,300 feet of existing road and built 776 linear feet of new road with a total site. Total project was right at 3,500 man hours. We completed the project in 69 working days for a total cost of $695,840, and that is 100% reimbursable to the county through the industrial access grant. We finally finished out our FEMA sites for Hurricane Sally. Old Taylor Place was completed this year. We replaced two 96-inch arch pipes and built two significant head walls for a total cost of $284,063. And we have not received this money yet from FEMA, but we're working through the paperwork on it. And that'll be a 90% reimbursement. Some other projects that were completed this year: Alice Street demolition that we worked with the city of Dothan on. Ashford Fire Department, we got them ready for a building pad. We would have to go back after they complete their building construction to finish the parking lot for the fire department. But you can see the cost associated with these projects beside there. The Ashford downtown parking lot we completed. We replaced bridge bearing pads on two bridges on County Road 95 North, right there at the nuclear plant. And I know it's been talked about in the past, but we save significantly on that when we do this versus hiring a contractor. We built a greenhouse pad for botanical gardens. Constructed football fields in conjunction with the city of Dothan at Grandview. Replaced or put in a pipe for Rehoboth Elementary in front of Rehoboth Elementary School. We constructed a building pad at Sam Houston Industrial Park that's not associated with the roadway for the new spec building that's going up currently. And then we have an annual tire cleanup program that we do. We haul off 35 loads of tires. We get reimbursed for that through ADM. And then we did an overlay of Ashford Town Hall. This is a list of some additional cross range that weren't associated with projects that were completed this year. You can see the total cost is right at $650,000. We replaced 1,100 feet of pipe. Right-of-way maintenance, some of that may be a little difficult to see. I apologize for that. But herbicide application, we sprayed 6,300 linear miles of roadway for a total cost of $283,000. One thing we always try to drive home is we're able to spray right-of-ways 4 times a year for about $45 a mile. And then we mow them once a year, as you see, for $376 a mile. That's 794 miles of mowing. We cleared 59 miles of right-of-way this year for right at $250,000, and that approximately costs $4,200 a mile. And we cleaned out a little over 16 miles of ditches throughout the county for a little over $500,000. Motor grading, we graded 874 miles of dirt roads this year for a total cost of $337,000. This is a list of work orders completed. Houston County personnel addressed 1,013 work orders this fiscal year. This chart kind of shows a breakdown of what those work orders were, commissioner work orders, citizen work orders. So that kind of just shows you a breakdown of those. Town requests, we did right at $73,000 worth of town requests work this year. And then the other work order cost that was not associated with towns was a little over $1,033,000. Sanitation knuckle boom services, as y'all know, we implemented pickup this year that we started, but this was last year's numbers. We did 6,300 pickups. That was called in tickets for a total of a little over 1,000 tons of debris removed from the right of way. This is going into this year's projected work. This is a map of our rebuild roads for this year, which include Fortson Road, West Cook Road, National Road, Enterprise Church Road, Enon Road, and Lynn Jarvis. Here's a copy of our rebuild plan showing that we're planning to spend approximately $1.7 million this year on rebuild funds. Upcoming MPO projects for this year. We've rolled over several years of MPO roads, so we're doing a significant amount of MPO paving this year. Ashford Road, Bethel Road, Jose Road, Calvert's Creek Road, Roney Road, Taylor Road, Hamilton Highway, and South Broad Street in Ashford. The total estimated cost for those projects is almost $6.2 million. And special projects, we got awarded the Hodgesville Industrial Access Grant. We have started design for this project. The estimated cost of it is $1.9 million, which will be 100% reimbursed to Houston County. We just completed a small project at the Sheriff's Department shooting range, right off Market Road, County Road 22. We're currently working on building the Sheriff's Department a new storage facility, building pad there. As discussed earlier, we got to go back and finish the Ashford Fire Department, and then we're also working on a realignment at Roney Road and Walden Road before we pay Roney in this upcoming MPO project. Any questions? Sorry, that was a lot of numbers, but
That's good. That's good. I was going to ask you about the striping machines. That's still.
still going good. We feel like we've replaced all the old stuff at this point and have got it where we think we can be very efficient with it.
Yeah.
Coffee County and the new Dale County engineer seem to be very excited about working with us on it. We had some pushback from previous staff in Dale County, but the new engineer there seems to be very excited about working with us on getting. And we'll start back, kind of tend to not stripe as much during the colder winter months, just because it has to be 50 degrees and rising. So when we do, we try to keep the truck running and stripe. So we'll start back up in 2 or 3 months.
That's a big difference in cost. So I'm glad that's still running. Asphalt, I know that's been a constant concern, the rising cost of asphalt. What do y'all see this coming year?
Well,
I'm asking you to speculate.
yeah, there's supposed to be a new asphalt plant coming in town, just outside of Houston County, up 231. We hope that brings the prices down some. But I mean, materials in general are just higher. I mean, it's costing more to produce, but they're definitely, we feel like asphalt cost is kind of went up higher than the material costs, just due to lack of competition. So we hope that this new asphalt plant will bring some more competition to this area and hopefully get our prices back in line.
You hear what he's saying?
Any questions or comments? from the
Can't
commission?
I just, you don't mind, Mr. Chairman, I just like to say, well,
Give me the
good job you are doing. I appreciate you guys. I mean, that's a lot of work been done in this county last year, what y'all continue to do. But yeah, y'all deserve an applause for that. I do want to say the shoulders of the road, when I'm riding out the county, I'm seeing the shoulders of the road being completed and taken care of the way they need to be. And I know we have obligations to the state to make sure that we take care of that. So, you know, that is a priority. And I'm very pleased to see that and what y'all are doing with the shoulders of the road.
Exactly right, Commissioner Herring. I know we've gotten bogged down there for a while. Had a hard time getting to the shoulders and getting even to some safety concerns that some of the commission had, but it seems like things are getting back and
The things are getting back. We're able to address work orders in a lot more timely manner. I feel like, and, you know, we have had crews available to start doing the shoulder work. And getting
Y'all
everything.
hear the word they're saying back there?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all have really good hearing, so we can't hear them up here at all.
Don't have comments. I know the superintendent from the school board, the last couple of times I've talked to him, really gave y'all some shout outs. So congratulations on that. Any other comments? We'll move on. All right. Thank you, Tyler. We're gonna move on to the regular agenda. So item number 1 is a request to approve and authorize advertising local legislation to pass a bill to provide for contracting of police services by the municipality with the sheriff of Houston County and to provide for compensation and distribution. So this is something, I'm sorry, we'll need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Harry. Second by Commissioner Adams. So discussion, this was something that come to us on behalf of the town of Rehoboth. I know we have the mayor of Rehoboth here, Mayor Trotter, if you want to come up and talk about this. And I know we have a couple of people that weren't here last week. So any comments you'd like to make?
Good morning.
Good morning, welcome.
I just wanted to give a brief overview of where this came from and where this started. When I took office in 2020, the town of Rehoboth had an empty building that we no longer used. It's a former town hall. There was much discussion on what would happen with that. One of the ideas we floated was maybe offering it as a hub for the sheriff's department. We have a lot of them in our area at certain times of the year, certain times of the day. Eventually, it got used for commercial purposes. We invested that way, and there it is staff, but I had reached out to Commissioner Herring at that time to say if that was even a possibility, the legalities of that type of thing, you know, and so forth and so on. That recently has came back up because you've had more municipalities in the state have that happen. Dale County in 2021 passed the ability to do that, to contract with their sheriff's department. There's a lot of question on if that is necessary. Overall, we've done some citizen surveys. That seems to be a top priority, making sure that our area is safe. Not saying that crime is rampant by any means, but personally, I've had some situations where I've needed someone at my house quickly. It would be nice to know that we had someone dedicated in our town limits for that to happen. It may be that this local legislation is passed and it is not feasible for us as a town to be able to pay for it. But we won't really know those numbers until we get to that point. We certainly think it's not going to be feasible for us to have our own police department, but it could be in comparison that it is. There's just a lot of unknowns, but none that we can even address until this local delegation, until our local delegation brings it forward to the state. And so that's where we stand with that. There's no telling, how long this will take, if processing will take. Like I said, we don't know the hard numbers for it. But this has to be on file with the state of Alabama for it to even be a possibility for us to have next year or 10 years down the road. Not just us. Since then, I've had some other people reach out to me municipality wise around the county that think it might put them in a better situation themselves. Police department is notorious for draining a small town. We do in the town of Rehoboth enforce our police jurisdiction, which means we collect sales tax, if you're within a 1.5 mile radius of our boundaries. We need to put that back in the police department or any sort of policing if we have it. Right now, it goes to our fire department, which has made significant strides. Our response time for fire and rescue is less than 5 minutes. I would love to be able to tell the people in the town of Rehoboth that the same could be said for any kind of policing issues. So that's where we stand with that. This is really a fact-seeking mission for us. We know that this has to pass and it's going to be up to the mercy of the state if that happens, but this is just the first few steps. Thanks.
Thank you. I'll say this, first of all, I think you do an excellent job as the mayor of Rehoboth. I hear that all over the county, so not just in Rehoboth, so congratulations on that. But also, we just finished the campaign and a few months ago when I was campaigning, that was one of the concerns that I had from Rehoboth citizens was response time. So I think you're certainly addressing a concern that a lot of folks have. Any other comments or questions from the commission?
No, I'll just say this, Mr. Chairman, Mayor, trying to get that on, that you and I had discussed that several years ago, and then it's just come to fruition now that we can, have an idea to move forward. And in 2004, as I come to you, Shelby County had put that in place. In that county, it was a local bill that was passed, and then we found out last year Representative Klaus brought it forward for Dale County. So it's just an opportunity that's there. If you don't have it in place, you can't move forward with it. You can't do anything. You can't, look at it because you have to have a law, local bill in place or a law in place for you to be able to do that. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to move this forward and be able to get this passed. So then there'll be opportunities, out there for you guys as well as others. But I appreciate you, Mr. Bobby, and Mr. Jim, for being here as well. Council members with the town of Rehoboth. Appreciate you guys for being here as well.
Any other questions or comments from the commission? We do have one citizen that wants to address this topic, so Mr. George Truck. Thank you, Mr. Trotter. Just as a reminder, you got 3 minutes, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, just set my clock there. Got it on 3 minutes and let me start it. It's already started. Oh, surprises, surprises, surprises. I want to, first of all, digress just a minute. I want to thank our mayor, my daughter-in-law, Kimberly, for being here, and 2 of our Rehoboth Town Council members for being here. I'd like to see them continue coming to these meetings, and I wish they could have been at these meetings for the last 4 years like I have. It'd be very enlightening, okay? Now, I want to remind you all, and by the way, my name is George Trotter. I reside at 4218 County Road 203, Dothan, Alabama, 36301. I want to remind you all that we live in the United States of America, constitutional republic form of government, of the people, by the people, for the people. And I hoped and prayed to God that when I came back here in 2023 in front of this new commission, that we would see y'all wanting participation from our citizens in the Houston County, not putting a greater damper than what it's been for the last 27 years I've been here. Now, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to get to the subject. I'm going to get on the topic. Okay, the topic is this, and I'm going to read it, just so I don't get it wrong. I'm going to read it off the agenda here, okay? Where last meeting, Thursday, in the admin meeting, where I normally, and citizens normally like to raise their hand and get recognized for 3 minutes to address an item y'all gonna put on the agenda before you vote on it, I was denied, been denied. That's been taken out of your rules of engagement with the citizens. That's one of the things I just mentioned. But here's number 1. It says request to approve and authorize advertising local legislation. When did we get into making laws in Houston County? Okay, that's a question for me. When did we get into laws and make that's done in Montgomery, as far as my knowledge, and most citizens in this county and in this state. All right, legislation to pass a bill to provide for contracting of police services by a municipality with the sheriff of Houston County and to provide for compensation and distribution. Compensation and distribution. There's a lot of questions we, the people, won't answer. And I have confidence that our mayor and our council members will have an open public meeting with the citizens in the town of Rehoboth before we ever make a decision to hire anybody in a relative to law enforcement. When I moved here in 1994, my job with BASF Corporation for an advancement. I love it here. I love Southeast Alabama. I could have moved anywhere in Southwest Georgia, Southeast Alabama, or North Florida. I chose Dothan, Alabama, Houston County, primarily because of their schools and then their medical facilities here, the 2 hospitals which have basically done this since I've been here. And also, guess what? Law enforcement. We had an excellent sheriff's department. We had an excellent sheriff's department, but that has gotten totally out of hand. It's all about more money, SUVs that we just approved and paid for about 2 years ago. And next, yes, sir. Well, thank you, sir, for allowing me to speak.
All right, thank you. All right.
Yeah.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Item number 2 is a request to adopt resolution for allocation of American Rescue Plan Act funds to carry out eligible project for the Wiregrass Food Bank and authorize chairman to negotiate and execute agreement.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Ivy, second by Commissioner Adams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion passes. Item number 3 is a request to adopt resolution for allocation of American Rescue Plan Act funds to carry out eligible project for the House of Blues Incorporated and authorize chairman to negotiate and execute agreement.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Harry, second by Commissioner Hart. Questions or discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Item number 4 is a request to adopt resolution for allocation of American Rescue Plan Act funds to carry out eligible project. Wiregrass Angel House Incorporated and authorize chairman to negotiate and execute agreement.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Herring, second by Commissioner Ivy. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Motion passes. Item number 5 is a request to approve a preliminary plat for Chase Ridge subdivision phase 5 and 6.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Herring,
Second.
second by Commissioner Ivy. Any questions or discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Motion passes. Item number 6 is a request to place the following items on gov deals from Community Corrections: a 2005 Chevy Tahoe and a 2006 Dodge Durango.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Ivy, second by Commissioner Adams. Any questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion passes. Before we get to the staff reports, thank you, Mr. Chief Administrative Officer. Remind me, so February the 9th, I said this last time, I'll say it again. We normally have been meeting, at least as far as this year is concerned, meeting first Thursday of the month. We meet at 5 p.m. February 9th, we will not meet at 5 p.m. We will meet at 10 a.m. because we will all be in Troy at 5 p.m. So February 9th, admin meeting 10 a.m. And also, that gives me an opportunity to say that the construction that's been going on at the building, right now, the cranes have been at the other side of the building working. They're gonna move to this side of the building, to the west side of the building. So what's gonna happen is the parking on the west side of the building and on the north side of the building, as a result, is gonna be closed. So we'll have even fewer parking spaces than we already have. So we're gonna make some adjustments. Employees are gonna be asked to park further away. And we're going to temporarily have to do away with assigned parking spots. And I myself am having to give up my parking spot to make way for citizens parking. So I'm going to send out that email, but just the public needs to be aware that there's going to be some changes in the parking starting next week. Unfortunately, it'll probably last about 9 weeks. But thank you. Staff reports, Chief Administrative Officer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No reports today.
All right. Mr. County Engineer, Acting County Engineer.
We have 2 closed roads. Campbellton Highway is closed. We are, depending on the rain, we hope to have the one we're working on now, Cross Drain, paved today, and then we will move to the very last one on Campbellton. That'll probably take 2 to 3 weeks to finish it, and then we'll be done with Campbellton Highway. And then we also closed County Road 33 this morning. It will just be during working hours, approximately 3 to 4 days. Clean out of it.
All right. Mr. County Attorney.
Careful, Mr. Chairman.
All right, any questions for the staff? Being none, the motion to adjourn, we are adjourned. Thank you.